brand new episode of Formula Pod. So today's two-man show, thanks to our very nice friend Jason, who decides that he will not be attending because of network issues, but he has promised that he would be there for the season finale. Sorry, before not the season finale. Sorry, that's a long time to go. But before the summer break, before the summer break is last season, that is for the next episode, he definitely should be there. Today we're talking all about the Hungarian Grand Prix. I just don't have words because from some end it is an actionable one, but another end it's a bit disappointing from a Mercedes fan perspective. Welcoming down to the deck is the one, the only, the technical expert, or what I'll call the guru, Mihir Balotia. Welcome to the show.
It's good to be back again. Honestly, very disappointing race for Hungary, but a few positive, a few negatives. So let's talk about it, Arjun. Let's talk about the Hungary Grand Prix.
The Hungary Grand Prix, of course. The big story was, of course, Lewis Hamilton getting his 104th pole position. That was the biggest story. And trust me, we were, our guy who was doing socials was just off for his holidays. And I was like, you know what? I am not waiting for this guy. I'm going to do a post because that was monumental. After 33 races and 595 days, Lewis Hamilton clinches back onto his 104th pole. And that was phenomenal. Because we need to start talking about qualifying because it was quite quite a surprising qualifying, I would say. Because Lewis Hamilton getting on pole, the Sauber team having their best qualifying results since 2007, like P5 and a P7. Joe Guan Yu with a P5 and Valtteri Bottas and a P7. And trust me, that would have been quite a good one for Valtteri Bottas because he was like, okay, finally, I'm remembering my days when I was in the Mercedes, like on that front row start and stuff. The McLarens, I cannot, hats off to them. The development is going, as you say, as how I'll call that, the pace is going pretty high up. We got certain disappointments as well. Carlos Sainz and George Russell. Like George Russell was really unfortunate in terms of that qualifying thing because the last minute Hamilton got the better one, whereas George was just filled in with all the traffic possible. So I feel a bit sad for him, but still, it is what it is. And Sergio Perez was actually basically what I call he was that I don't know exactly how to phrase this. He was the dog in hot water. He
Yeah,
was just
yeah,
making
I
it a
totally
point.
agree.
He was just making it a point that okay, he needs to qualify. He needs to make it a Q3 because Daniel Ricciardo is actually a pure threat. And however Christian Horner says, okay, our 2024 lineup is Max and Checo, there's still a chance that mid-season he could be thrown out.
Could be,
So
could be. Absolutely agreed.
it is what it is. But Mihir, thoughts on the qualifying?
Hmm. Thoughts on the qualifying? I think honestly, the rain made it very interesting for everyone because everyone wasn't expecting but practice session and qualifying was amazing for Lewis. I mean, the car was perfect. He knew. So I'll tell you this, right? Um, as a Lewis fan, and I'm not trying to be biased here and try to make this all about Mercedes, but I can see the charm and the charisma and how different Lewis is when the car is so perfectly aligned up to his satisfaction. The whole confidence, the way he walks, the way everything is about him. The whole vibe that it gives off was absolutely amazing. Checo. I do not know what's going on with him. He says it's a rough patch and things will go right. Every driver is going through it. It's the fact that I'm having more rough days than any other driver, which I totally agree. I mean, something's wrong with Checo and Checo's car, and but he's driver of the day at the end of the day. Okay, so
Definitely.
that's a that's astonishing from his side. I mean, Max is very as interviews. He's very comfortable with the car. There's nothing wrong with his car. The car is quick. So even he says this is the perfect Formula One car Red Bull has ever produced. So that's a big statement from him. So honestly, if I had to, in one sentence, I had to clear out what the Hungarian Grand Prix was. It was a very boring yet exciting race for everyone. And I know it's like, what the hell? What is boring and exciting mean? Boring in the sense of there wasn't much of entertainment. Like there were multiple overtakings. There was multiple skills that were shown by all the drivers.
Hmm.
But I think the most exciting part was looking at Ricardo. I mean, I was so excited to see Ricardo on the grid again. You know, unfortunately, he got pulled into an accident. It wasn't even his fault. It was Sue's fault of Alfa Romeo. But
Yeah,
I didn't.
we were you're talking about qualifying right now, but like yeah, let's actually move on to the race itself.
Oh,
So
yeah,
like
yeah,
it
yeah.
could, yeah,
I can talk all day about this.
but like yeah, talking about the race, like yeah, as Lewis Hamilton fans, we were like, okay, Lewis will get the better start. At least in my mind, at least I was having this mind. For one lap, at least Lewis would basically drive that Mercedes in clean air and kind of just lead it off, like how Lando did. But Lando didn't have pole position. But like, no, Lando didn't have pole position. Anyways, but like yeah, I thought that. But then like yeah, the situation came in where he couldn't do it, and then Max just cruised it off. Whereas what surprised me was Joe Guan Yu. The car
Yeah,
stalled. The car stalled on the like when the lights were to go, and like others were just going, and then this guy just got so confused what to do. And then that turn one, both the Alpines for a second time, both Alpines got into a DNF. Like that's so shocking. And plus, the even more crazier part is Esteban Ocon's car, like his seat got cracked.
yeah, I saw that. That was so crazy, bro.
I was just like, what the hell was that? But like, I kind of sympathize with the Alpine team because it's just not easy when you have like two teams going in and you got the McLaren's fast approaching. Like every race since Silverstone, they are making it a point to get more than 25 points per
Mm.
race. Last it was 30, now it is 25. Like second and fifth place. So it's just that it's phenomenal speed. It's phenomenal.
Mm.
What do you call upgrades? I would say. But okay, I'm not going to say about the Mercedes. Like yeah, here go on.
Obviously, I mean, George Russell was far apart from Lewis. Lewis had an amazing start. But here's my thing: the car was slow. Even he said that, and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, mate." Like he knew. I think the confidence of you know. I'm trying to put myself in Lewis's shoe for a second, right?
Yeah.
Just for a second. I've seen McLaren's performance last race. I've seen. I mean, Red Bull is the pinnacle of Formula One. I keep saying that, so I'm going to say that again. So I guess the confidence level drops. I mean, imagine you're sitting in a Formula One car. You know you don't have the fastest car. You know there's Red Bull and McLaren behind you. You know for a fact that these cars have amazing upgrades, and Red Bull being the fastest, quickest car. I would feel the pressure as well. So I do not have any grudge against Lewis. I could imagine the amount of pressure he has because everyone was like, "Oh my god!" Like as soon as Lewis got pole and qualifying, I was like, yep, that's it. Like, Lewis is back on track, baby. And then the first corner turns up. And I see the McLarens have overtaken Lewis, and I was like, wait, what's going on? Obviously, that was an amazing move by McLaren. The way they conquered the first corner was absolutely beautiful. It was clean, it was cut. And Lewis
Yes.
said, oh, I'm so sorry, mate. And then I was like, stop apologizing, bro. Like it's Formula One, we get it. Stop. Let's get on to it. Let's race. And okay, he was P4. Okay, that's not a bad thing for Mercedes. I mean, considering they've gone in P8, P7, P6, P4 is actually pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. But at the end of the day, I fully support McLaren as well because obviously anything is better than Red Bull. but but it's a very good change to see how one day it's a Ferrari, the next day it's a McLaren, then it's Aston Martin in the in the beginning of the season. So it's very exciting to see how different teams have come up with different upgrades, and I'm actually super excited after the break what kind of upgrades and what kind of development these guys have for after break.
True.
Whew, that's a lot of talking.
No, but see, I thought, okay, with the Aston Martin saying, okay, this is a track that is perfect for them. McLarens were just under, they were like, we're not sure sometimes whether this track might be good enough for us. They did. Like, they bloody got a podium. Like, they
Uh-huh.
bloody went to the podium. And with like, going in this rate, I potentially see McLaren getting the third spot in the constructors. Because see, understand this. From what do you call with Ferrari, they just ended up getting 13 points. With the um, with the Aston Martins, they only managed to get 9 points in the past two races. Okay, and you got 56 points with the McLaren doing it that quick. And I'm pretty sure, like we are now having 11 races to go. Okay. In this 11 races, we got to see how McLaren is going to position the car uh, as of how they kind of position it right now. And we got, because with Aston Martin now, I just feel the hopes are just, okay, you know what? In the beginning, they're like, oh, we got this, we got that, this, that, all these things. But I am looking at a point where they are bound to dropping very badly because they're literally dropping so bad. Because, okay, as per how they say, they got the car, they got a right track. Alonso's like, okay, I'm going to do it, I'm going to get this thing. But then we managed to see them in P9 and P10. That's basically 3 points. And that's not what we need. And Mercedes has actually managed to pull out quite a decent job and is now in the 200 ranges of points.
Mhm.
Whereas Red Bull is at what, 400 points on the constructors. So that's not even to be discussed in the first place. But still, a phenomenal drive from George Russell, I would say. Like, I feel towards the end, the Mercedes was a lot faster. Like, I feel a more lighter Mercedes operates a lot more better compared to a heavier Mercedes with all the fuel in. I
Mhm.
personally feel that because it's just that that lighter Mercedes is, it's just that it's got all the power. It's from somewhere it's getting all that power. Because normally the thing is that you just press that overtake button, you get that additional 30% of electric power. You will get it, and it's just that you can just swoop off. But they didn't. I was like, okay, Hamilton just do that. I don't know whether it is done or not because in the last moments of the race, where Checo and Hamilton was just hitting on here and there for that P3 spot. I was like, okay, let it get in, let it get in. But then, like, yeah, I feel probably if there was just one more lap, Hamilton might have taken it up. Might have. I would say, might have. Because the gap was literally under 1.5 seconds. But like, yeah, did you notice this time something else returned though? The gap between first and second place,
Yeah.
more than 30 seconds. It's 35 seconds. Like, let me give you the exact number. 33.731. Okay? 33 seconds of gap between the first and second place. That is something which I'm not happy about. I'm really not happy about.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, because okay, McLaren actually had the speed, and I think after a point Lando was just like, okay, I don't want to burn my tires, I would rather just go on a tire conservation mode. I'll just get at the gap in, because technically from second to the rest of the grid there was actual racing. They're like, yeah, I don't know whether you've come across this particular thing which Toto Wolff actually mentioned. He was like, it is like a field of F2 cars against an F1 car.
One car. Yeah, I
And they
saw that, and I was very surprised that he made that statement. Anyway, continue, Arjun.
no, and like, see, I'm like, at this point, paradoxically speaking, it is true because. you're seeing what 30 seconds, 40 seconds gap you're finding between first and second place.
Mm-hmm.
That basically just means that okay, they have done the car so well, and it's just that, and he relating to an F2 car at this point is just that. It's just an what? How you call this? Uh, an F1 engine on an F2 car.
Yeah, absolutely agreed.
Like it's just that at this point. But like yeah, this race apparently broke a lot of records, and it also broke a trophy.
I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at the ceremony. I see Lando Norris. He's such a kid,
Like
man.
I know,
This
right?
is the second time. This is the second time he's done this.
Yeah, no, like every time he gets it onto a podium, he does that thing where he'll just like make it a point to just put it down, put that
Yeah,
bottle of champagne down, and then just
on the podium stage and
and then
just
just do boof, do the job exactly. But then this time, no, last time he did it, the trophy was metal, so it didn't break.
yeah.
This
This
time
one,
it
bro.
this time it was a pure ceramic. It took the trophy makers 6 months to make the trophy. It is handcrafted, and each trophy is worth $40,000. And it's just that Lando Norris is like, oh, it's nothing, nothing happened. He will just spring it off, and then when Max comes down, he's like, oh shoot, my trophy is broken.
I was reading the comments and I was going through, and somebody commented, "Oh, you broke this one? It's okay. I got 43 more in the in the Red Bull auction."
No, I'm just like the amount of work that artist has to go through again.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be a task. Because he was just like, oh, I would have been just done with this thing. Now let me just think about the next Hungarian Grand Prix. But then he's just like, okay, I gotta now go and rework this entire thing. And plus, it's just that during the interview, Lando actually blamed it on Max. Did you see that? Saying that,
Yes, it
oh, he
did.
just kept it on the edge.
Okay, so what I feel about this, I think at the end of the day, I don't think the drivers really care about the cups. I think they just care about winning and the
It's all
satisfaction
the
of,
points.
yeah, it's all the points. They don't care about the cups. So, but let's be honest. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Lando, he hasn't learned his lesson from last time." Look, maybe it could be. Maybe he did put it on there. Maybe they should just remove all the trophies as soon as you get it. Give it. Do all the celebration.
I have a better thing to propose. Make all these things, like the podium, just kind of like what do you call the soft sponge surface. So just that people like Lando Norris who is just ready to do this thing, and when the trophy falls down, it doesn't break.
Okay, you
Like
need to
Hungary should do
understand.
it. Hungary should
No,
do
no,
it.
no. I disagree with you. I think the most easy thing to do in this kind of situation is as soon as you get the cup, give the cup to the person, like a Red Bull or like whoever which team the team principal comes, takes the trophy, walks out, or give it to someone, and do your champagne showers. The cushion thing I disagree with because the amount of like, dude, if this gets wet, the cushioning, it's gonna smell like what?
Oh
Nah,
yeah,
bro.
true. Oh yeah, true. Or it could be something a little more of a softer material. Not
Yeah,
even cushion. Could be something
I think
else.
yeah, I think you should put my heart because I'm soft.
Oh man, I am just going to run away right now. But like, yeah, Max. Okay, the record breaking thing I would say. After 33 races, Lewis Hamilton gets a podium. After 40, Max's 44th race win. Any coincidence over here? No coincidence.
I think it's luck. It's pure luck and skill here.
And I don't know whether you've observed this. People started criticizing Nico Rosberg. Like
Leave
every
Nico alone. Just leave him alone. He's just racing because he has to race. I don't know why are people behind him so much.
no, it's just that I've been following a lot of these F1 meme pages since this weekend. Like it is just exponentially shot up, and it's just that each one I'm seeing, I'm making every time I go through Instagram, I'm seeing this particular picture of Nico Rosberg in front of the Mercedes stand in front of Lewis's car, and it's just like whenever Nico does that, Lewis doesn't win or Lewis doesn't make it to
Mhm.
the podium. But like now, there's another thing that if Lewis got to make it to the podium, Shakira should be there in the race. And
Ole,
I'm just
ole,
like,
ole.
I'm just
Ole,
like, what
ole,
just
ole.
happened? But like, yeah, it was just quite an interesting one, and also Hungary was also took that spot with a particular banner in the middle of the track, which says the girl you like with the Red Bull car, her ex, that's Alex Albon, the guy she tells you are not to worry about, Dan Ricciardo, her dad,
Mhm.
Christian Horner, her uncle, Dr. Helmut Marko, and you is Sergio Perez. Like I just broke out. I'm like, this is just like proper targeted stuff for Red
Mhm.
Bull. Ugh, trust me, this is just gone
Too
real
much.
fun. Real, like I'll tell you, I'll say more than action, it was a lot of memes that kind of broke Hungarian Grand Prix. A lot of
All
memes.
right.
But like, yeah, we are also coming. This is basically the penultimate race, and now we got the ultimate race for the season, that is Spa. And I'm having some hopes. I'm having some hopes because it's technically the last year. Spa's contract is up for renewal. We don't
Yeah.
know whether Spa would be there the next season. Like, it is a big doubt. But if it is, it would be quite interesting one because the longest track, one of the highest elevations, and like it is a dangerous track.
It
Can't
is.
deny that. Can't deny that because a lot of drivers did die over there.
Yeah. Just
I'll not
a
say
moment
got
of
injured,
silence. I think we should just have a moment of silence just for those drivers. Honestly, I
of
think.
course.
Yeah.
The latest being an F2 driver, Delano Von who was racing for MP Motorsport. What's
But
that?
I'll be honest. Look, Spa, I think is it's one of my favorite tracks. To be honest, it's all about speed. It's about late braking. It's about just everything a Formula One race should be. Not fast corner. This is just brake, then fast pace again, and then brake, and then fast pace again. It's a continuation of these things, and this is one of the reasons why I love Spa. But obviously, my favorite racetrack would be Canadian Grand Prix. It's almost a oval.
Mm-hmm.
It's
You
I
know
mean,
what?
if you can see it.
Yeah, like I personally, my favorite track is the Albert Park.
Why is that?
Long straights. Okay, you got like some of them the high speed corners, a little low speed corners, and it has got quite a good amount of DR zones where overtaking is relatively a lot easier. And plus, that is
Hmm.
one of the tracks Mercedes has got good success on. So of
True.
course. So even when I play F1 Mobile, the track that gives me some luck of a podium is Albert Park. Honestly speaking, Ferraris have actually complained, like especially Charles Leclerc has told there is a radio communication issue. Okay. So this basically means normally listeners who don't understand, in Formula One, a driver kind of communicates to its engineers or into its pits, onto the pit crew, like if they feel it's a discomfort or if they feel like, okay, a better tire could be used or like a better strategy could be used. And all these things are communicated through radio. Okay. And I feel it's an open channel, right? Like everyone can
Yeah.
hear, like
Yeah.
everyone can hear it, right? So wait, is it like each driver could hear or each race, like each team could hear, each team principal could hear? How is that?
Each team can hear each other's radio.
Okay, so like yeah, each team principal could do that. Wait, if that's the case, I
Hmm.
really want to applaud George Russell because at a lap he was just like, I my rear is, I can't do this thing. Like he was almost in a give up thing, and Ferraris were like, you know what, guys, cool, George is not going to attack, and then look who comes to the side, George Russell.
It's also a lot of fake talking as well.
It's more of like you play poker. If you play poker
Yeah.
very well, you know how to do exactly the same thing on Formula One on the radio.
Hmm. True.
But like, yeah, radio is a quite an important thing on in Formula One, and
Mhm.
Charles Leclerc was just saying that because he like his engineers couldn't understand what he was saying, he wasn't understanding what his engineers were saying. It has got to a big calm situation. But like, yeah,
Mhm.
I gotta ask this: how important is communication on a Formula One race between the driver and its engineer?
Oh boy, it's everything because a driver is the captain of the team, but without a team, there's no captain. And it's basically the car is showcasing what the team has done. Now, coming back to your question of how important it is, it's the most crucial thing ever. Communication is because if you get into trouble, a, a Formula One driver, if he sees a trouble, there's only one person who can detect if there's any solution to that. It's a team principal on the team. Like, for example, let's say Ricardo's accident, right, where he crashed. It was because of Alfa Romeo. Daniel doesn't have the time to think about, oh my God, is the car okay? No, he says, team, check the car's okay. If there are minor accidents, I can go on driving. If not, I'm going to DNF. Right? So, in first instance, Daniel Ricciardo would go on the racetrack saying, okay, I got into a crash. I'm going to still continue. But I'm going to leave this responsibility to the team because I have another responsibility of carrying the team. So everything is about communication in any team, in any sports team. Communication is key. Even in a relationship, communication is key. Me and Arjun and Jason planning this episode, it's team. It's all about communicating. If one person slacks, the whole podcast slacks. It's the same thing. So in terms of Formula One, it's everything. And do you disagree, Arjun? Is there another example you would like to give the listeners another example of this?
I'm not going to disagree. I totally agree on this. Like, okay, but I can give another example. Imagine this. Okay, this works the same way how suppose when a pilot flies, the pilot must always keep on contact with the air traffic control in order to do a contact saying that okay, we passed your zone, we are at this is the cruising altitude, we are heading at this particular degree, and we're heading to this particular destination. Okay, so always a radio contact is there. It is the same way in Formula One where the driver needs to inform like it's a two-way street where the
Mm-hmm.
driver informs how the track is evolving and what possible strategy could be used because for certain drivers, for example, George Russell was also one of them who I don't know for which race it was, but it was for the last year, I think one of the last year's races. He told that okay, he could do a softs, he could be put on softs when he was actually on hards. He went in,
Mm-hmm.
pitted in. Hamilton was on the hards, and he went in, put the softs, and then managed to get pretty good result for the Mercedes. So it's just that this thing is pretty crucial because both the driver and the team they need to establish that clear line of communication, and that's the only solution because you're driving in what 300 kilometers per hour speed. If something happens to the car and if you cannot control it, it's basically the teams, they at the best they could do something with it. It's not the
Mm-hmm.
drivers.
True.
Teams could troubleshoot systems and kind of figure out something, accordingly take the solution.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. But like, yeah, speaking about teams and speaking about all communication, I want to come back to Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
And Hamilton actually, post race, he was actually saying something like this. He was just like, it was not a great start. It was reminiscent of 2015 when I fell back onto the order. Then I didn't have the pace to keep up with the guys ahead, which
Mm-hmm.
technically in this particular race it was true. McLarens are having more pace, Red Bulls are having more pace, but they were there somewhere. But he was just like, I'm gonna take the positives from yesterday. Whilst we don't have the best car, it was an incredible lap. Like I personally feel the Mercedes actually, both the drivers, George and Lewis, gave their best with that what that car could do. Okay, they tried their level best, and I'm pretty sure they are up to bring one more upgrade down in Spa, and which technically is all like I believe for the entire while, for the near future, this should be basically the last upgrade. But I don't know how after summer how they kind of going to plan this thing around. But like yeah, see, being at Mercedes, post summer is always when Mercedes kind of shows its true face, or what I'll call the lion comes and roars.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to see how post summer Mercedes performance turns out to be, because we're coming back to Zandvoort. If I'm Yeah, we come back to
Yeah,
Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix. Yeah, then we're off to Monza, the Temple of Speed, and then Singapore.
Temple of Speed. I
But like
like
yeah,
that. I like what you just said. Temple of Speed. Oh, damn, that's actually a very good saying. A Temple of Speed.
yeah, and
Oh,
Monza's
new
actually
caption. New caption.
no, basically no. It's just that Formula like Monza actually has a nickname called the Temple of Speed.
Hmm.
I- If you didn't know that, did you know that?
I actually didn't know that. I did not know that. Wow, you learn everything. You learn something new every day. Jesus.
You know what? It's that when before having career down in radio before, certain
Hmm.
slingers like this had to be what do you call registered in your mind, just so that okay you can just like zap it off.
Damn,
Uh,
that's a very good thing. I'm gonna use that now. I'm sorry, Arjun.
okay, it's not copyrighted, so you can still use it. No worries. Um, but like yeah, now okay. So last year during this time, teams were look every team was basically subject to something called as cost cap breach. Okay,
Hmm.
last year was just one team. That was the Red Bulls. This year, it's not one. It is three teams, and this has actually raised eyebrows on thinking who would it be, because apparently it's Red Bull claims they are not, because they're like we didn't have crashes, we did minimal development, and technically, yeah, I don't see Red Bull actually breaking the cost cap because the car is bloody fast.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't know why they even brought upgrades. They're already fast. Why do they want to bring further upgrades and make the car even more faster? Like, come on, stop it. But yeah, three teams. And I just don't want to predict teams. And trust me, if it is a financial breach, and I remember this Toto Wolff saying this last year, he was like, if they're just going to get financial breach, it's rather better we also do the same thing and just pay a fine,
Right.
because they're like we don't mind paying for the fine and kind of just doing this thing off, because it's and plus it's not like okay Red Bull losing wind time, what wind tunnel time. I don't think it was a good punishment though, because the car
You
is
sure?
I don't think so. Big see, the car is fast. The car is actually fast compare, and as I'm going to agree to what Toto actually said, it is basically you comparing an F1 car versus an F2 car.
Hmm.
It is the ultimate F1 car, and all the others in the grid is an F2 car. Because I don't know if you have observed the qualifying from P1 till P20, everyone like the maximum is 1.5 seconds gap. 1.5
True.
seconds. Like and plus during Q3, everyone managed to have a gap of less than a second from the leader. So it's just what it is. But like yeah, I any thoughts on this though, here?
I haven't thought about this actually, to be honest. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's a drastic change. It's a drastic gap. I mean, 1.3 seconds is. People think, oh yeah, 1.3 seconds is so less. No, in Formula One terms, 1.3 is like
1.3
it's
is
pretty
massive.
massive.
Just massive.
Any for the listeners, anything below 1 second is good. Anything above 1 second is late. It's all about speed and timing, baby.
It's not even 1 second, it's 0.5 second.
Yeah,
Because it's like because as per Formula One color codes, anything more than 0.5 seconds is categorized as yellow. Anything which is between 0 to 0.5 is categorized as green. And anything before that is categorized as purple. Okay. So anything less than 0.5 is basically eyebrows have to be up.
yeah.
But like, yeah, it is what it is apparently, and we got to see how this is going to turn out, and we will know potentially probably after the Belgian Grand Prix who is going to be the one to be penalized and what they're going to get penalized. Is it win tunnel? Is it championship points? Because if it is championship points, as said, eyebrows have to be raised a lot,
I'm trying.
a lot, a lot.
I'm really trying, bro.
Um, Then, like, yeah, let's come down to the next race. This is the last race for the next for the month, and then we are only coming back on the August 25th. But that doesn't
Hmm.
mean we will be silent. We will still
Yeah,
have episodes coming out, as in
absolutely.
will not be talking about the race, but we will be talking about something which will be related to the race, and we could be actually putting in some nice educational stuff, which
It's-
for all the rookie Formula One fans, we really want to help you guys. So, like, yeah, just stay tuned on our socials, Formula.pod. Here, can you just give our listeners a kind of an understanding of this Spa track in terms of how quick it is, in terms of the possible setups these guys could be bringing out, in terms of how the running works?
Yeah. Okay. So Spa is a lot of. It's mainly straight lines. Again, like I said, Spa is one of my favorite racetracks. But the reason why is because there's so Sector One. If I mean all the listeners, if you could just Google and just type on Spa racetrack Belgium, you'd understand better. You can see corner one where it's Sector One S1. It's almost a straight line. Now, when the race starts, with a very hard turn, and then from there it's a straight line. So it's all about speed at that time. There's nothing else. It's just about aerodynamics, clean air, and then as soon as you reach turn five, you'll see there's a slight a chicane, which should be easy, but that's one of the most dangerous parts because it's all about late braking at that time. So you can either let the other person brake early and then you can overtake them from the outside line, or you can be still sneaky, brake on the outside line, trying to make the other driver seem like, oh yeah, he's gonna brake early, and you can go on the inside. So there's a lot of technical issues right there as well. And then it goes on to turn seven, turn eight, and turn nine. It's all about, you know, getting positioning, getting some overtakes, getting some position, gaining some positions here and there. Turn 11 and 12, fast corners. You know, you can either stay behind the car or you can overtake from the outside line, and then you can S it through, chicane it through. It's all about those. And then if you come down to turn 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19, those are fast lanes. Those turns are not sharp. So you can just do like, maybe you can move the steering maybe 2 to 3 inches, maybe less, just to get the grip, to get the friction. Now, a best thing about this track is if it rains during Belgium, it would be a killer race because a lot of cars slip, a lot of friction dies off, but 44 laps with only 7 kilometers of circuit length. In 7 kilometers, there is so much that can happen. It's crazy.
Wow.
That's the gist of what I can just say about Spa. Spa is, I'm gonna use the statement here, the temple of speed.
I not call Spa Temple of Speed, because
I think I
Temple of
would.
Speed is of course Monza for sure. Come to the end of this podcast. We want to put in our predictions for the Belgian Grand Prix. And yeah, let's kick it off. Here, I want you with telling me driver and the team. Okay? So, like, yeah, we want to go on however it is.
Okay, so obviously Max Red Bull,
Mm-hmm.
Lando Norris.
Uh-huh.
The pace is amazing for Lando. I'll say Checo, and then
Okay.
I'll say Oscar, and I wanna give a chance to Lewis. No, actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll give it to Lewis. Yeah, I mean, considering that he had a very slow start, but even he claims, and I did see it as well, that his car was quick at the end of the race.
Yeah,
So
that's what.
maybe in the last 15 laps, I think he really gained some pace and he understood where he understood the track late. But let's see. I mean, Spa isn't going to be easy for the Mercedes Black Arrows. Obviously, Red Bull's gonna be pretty high up on the grid. Actually, you know what? I changed mine. Let me come back to it. Red Bull, McLaren, McLaren, Mercedes. That's what I'm gonna say.
My predictions for the Belgian Grand Prix, I would say it would be Max, Lando Norris,
Okay.
and and I'm just thinking. I'm really confused. Well, P3 would be either Checo or Oscar Piastri.
Hmm.
But considering Spa, because for all the F2 people and F3 people, this is like a very regular track.
Hmm.
And Spa is all of definitely part, so they know what the track is and all stuff. So, uh, so wait, you know what? I'm just going to categorize this as teams: Red Bull,
Hmm.
McLaren, Mercedes.
Are you sure?
I am potentially seeing Checo making one more mistake. I'm
Look,
potentially seeing it.
even if he makes a mistake, you would cover it
He
up on the race.
no, he will. Like, of course, this is now become such a story right now, where it's
Hmm.
like Max just cruises off. He's technically not racing; he's just driving for fun.
Right.
And Sergio is actually doing the proper racing, where he's just overtaking, and getting it there, fighting for the position and getting there. Because Max is no longer fighting. I don't find it.
Mhm.
Max isn't fighting. He gets the better start, hits it up there, and then he just drives off. But then Checo actually is doing a bit of the heavy lifting, I think. Not I think,
He
I am damn sure about it.
he is. He is.
Because
Mm.
at this point, Max is just, whatever. Uh, as I always say, and I would rather use this my catchphrase, it is what it is, right?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. It is what it is.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for once again tuning on to Formula Pod. And yeah, we spoke all about the Hungarian Grand Prix. Let us know what are your thoughts on the Hungarian Grand Prix. What was good, what was bad, what should have been improved. And also in terms of improvement, let us know how we can improve so that we kind of give you guys killer content every time we come and do an episode. Until next time, this is the entire crew of Formula Pod signing off. Goodbye.